Hello students, welcome back to the lecture number 3 of the life process. In this video we'll be discussing something about nutrition. As in earlier classes we have seen that the nutrition is the process of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body to build the body for growth, repair and the energy. We all know that the life depends on the carbon-based molecules on the earth. Most of the food are also carbon-based molecules. The outside raw material used by the living organisms are food, water and air. We have also seen that there are two basic modes of nutrition. The autotrophic means those who can make their own food by themselves by using simple inorganic substances like green plants and some bacteria. They can do this particular process. Second mode of nutrition is heterotrophic mode of nutrition, where the organism have to be dependent on the different organisms, like we all animals, fungi and some bacteria. We are the heterotrophic. We also have seen the heterotrophic mode of nutrition is of three types. The saprophytic mode of nutrition, where the organism depends on another organism, but which one? The dead and decaying one. They break down the food material outside the body and then they absorb. Mushroom, bread mold, yeast are some of the examples. Then the parasitic mode of nutrition, where the organism depends on another organism for the food, but here it does not kill the host organism. मीन्स जैसे न्यूट्रिशन ले रहा है उसको बिना मारे उसे न्यूट्रिशन चुराना पैरासाइट का काम है. सो दिस इज द पैरासिटिक मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन. Different examples we can find out: orchids, cuscuta are the plant examples. In animals, the insects like ticks, lices, leeches, then roundworms, tapeworms. Plasmodium is also one of the example which derive the nutrition from the host without killing it. Holozoic mode of nutrition क्या होता है? It is the mode of nutrition where the organism they take the food directly and then digest it, means break it down and then absorb it. Examples: human beings, fishes, birds, amoeba, paramecium. All these are the organisms that can do Holozoic mode of nutrition. Now let us just discuss something about the plants. Now, as we have seen the autotrophs are the organisms that can make their own food. But why? By which process? By what kind of a process they are going to do that? So that process is photosynthesis. As we all know that the photosynthesis is the process of making food, the process of preparing food. It means that all green plants, they prepare their own food by using inorganic substances like carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. The food prepared here is carbohydrate. You can find out the formula over here, that is glucose. Glucose is a kind of carbohydrate which is stored in the form of starch, and during this process only the precious oxygen is released in this particular process only. So the equation shows that 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, 12 molecules of water, where in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, carbon, it gets splitted up. The carbon and oxygen gets splits up and it forms glucose molecule, that is carbohydrate, with the release of some water and oxygen. Now the question is that the matter is that whatever the requirement of the plant is there for photosynthesis process, for the process of photosynthesis, what exactly it needs? Yes, it needs carbon dioxide, it needs water. So both of them, they are present in the atmosphere. In the atmosphere the carbon dioxide is present, whereas water they can get it from the soil. We all know the roots, they absorb the water, and with the help of stem it will be conducted to all parts of the plant, including the food factory, that is the leaves. The sunlight is already present. In a daytime they can perform photosynthesis just because the sunlight, the energy from the sun, it reaches to the plant. Apart from this, the carbon dioxide that should enter into the leaves, but how it will enter, and the chlorophyll that is present in the plant leaf, how it is. So there is certain specific arrangement where the carbon dioxide enters into the leaves. So for that sake, we have to take a look on this particular thing, that is the internal structure of leaf. If you will take the internal section of leaf, you can find out this particular thing occurs, that is where we can find out the internal structure and the different kind of cells over here, including the air spaces. But what we have to look for, we have to look for this particular thing. You can find out the leaves, they're having tiny pores, minute pores in the lower epidermis especially. These tiny pores are known as stomata. Singular it is stoma and plural it is stomata. We can find out the exchange of gases, means whatever carbon dioxide is to be entered, we can find out it will be entered into the plant leaf through this stomata. How this takes place, we will be just learning about it over here. So this different kind of cells are there, and the entry and exit of the gases, it depends on the concentration of the gases. In the chapter we will be discussing about the same, but here the stomata, whether it will be opened or closed, it will be decided by two cells which surround this minute pore. These particular cells are known as guard cells. As like the guards, they work as the guard for the cell. Remember students, whenever the stomata opens up, we can find out it allows the carbon dioxide to enter into it, and when it closed up, it will not allow anything or any exchange of gases. So these guard cells, when they shrink, we can find out the stomata gets open. If it swell, यानी उसमें अगर वाटर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन बढ़ गया तो क्या हो जाएगा, जो दोनों के बीच का गैप जो है, जिसको हम लोगों ने स्टोमेटा बोला है, वो बंद हो जाएगा. और जैसे ही ये स्टोमेटा बंद हो जाएगा, एक्सचेंज ऑफ गैसेस जो भी है, या तो ट्रांसपिरेशन से वाटर वेपर का बाहर जाना भी स्टोमेटा से होता है, ऑक्सीजन का रिलीज भी स्टोमेटा से होता है. तो अगर स्टोमेटा बंद हो गया तो ये सारी चीज़ें बंद हो जाती है. सो ओपनिंग एंड क्लोजिंग ऑफ स्टोमेटा वी कैन फाइंड आउट. तो बेसिकली व्हाट द स्टोमेटा इज, stomata is nothing but the structure, a tiny pore we can say. It is present in the leaves which exchange the gases, and each stoma has a pair of guard cells. हर एक इसको guard cell होता है. देखो the green colored guard cells we can find out. These guard cells which control the opening and closing of the stomatal pore. When the water enters the guard cells, it swells up and the pore opens, and when the guard cells lose water, it shrinks and pore closed. pore जो होता है close हो जाता है. जब भी shrinking होगा, pore close हो जाएगा. And this is how this stomata works. This is the minute structure, the tiny structure of stomata. Open stomata we can find out. This guard cells, how it is opened and how it is closed. Let us see. So here we can find out the water is there. H2O, it means water is present. This water is present. Now if there will be no water, if the water moves out of the guard cell, we can find out it will shrink. वो shrink हो जाएगा, उसका surface छोटा सा हो जाएगा, और देख सकते हैं the stomata will be closed. Here it will swell and the stomata will be open. Here the water diffuses into the guard cells which causes them to open, and on hot or dry days the guard cells have less water, they relax and the stoma closes. So in this way the stomata functions for exchange of gases, where the guard cells will help them out for opening and closing and allowing the gases exchange. Here we will get back to the point. So this is how carbon dioxide reaches to the leaf water reaches to the leaves through the stem. Now the chlorophyll, what exactly this chlorophyll is? Dear students, the chlorophyll is the green colored pigment which is present in the part of a cell called as chloroplast. क्लोरोप्लास्ट नाम का एक पार्ट होता है सेल का जहाँ पे हम लोगों को ये ग्रीन कलर का पिगमेंट दिखेगा. दिस इज द सिंपल स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द प्लांट सेल. Now see the plant cell, it is containing the cell membrane, it is having cell wall, it is having the vacuole, the bigger vacuole is there, cytoplasm is there, nucleus is there, and there is a chloroplast that contains chlorophyll. So students, what this chlorophyll means? Chlorophyll is the green colored pigment which is present in the cell organelle called chloroplast, and chloroplast it is a type of a plastid which is only and only found in the plant cell, and this is why we can say that the human beings or other animals, they are not capable of doing photosynthesis क्योंकि chlorophyll नहीं है. Okay, in this way we can find out that these organisms, the plants, they can get their simple substances with the help of that they can do photosynthesis. So exactly क्या होता है photosynthesis के process में, we will just be learning about. So there are different processes occurring over there, different processes like the process of photosynthesis. The first step, in the very first stage, what would happen? In the very first stage, we can find out what would happen. The photosynthesis takes place in the 3 stages. First stage is the absorption of light by the chlorophyll. Now this chlorophyll, just now we have seen, this chlorophyll, it absorbs the sunlight. It absorbs the sunlight. Now this sunlight, as it is absorbed by the chlorophyll, we can find out ये जो chlorophyll होता है ये sunlight को क्या कर रहा है? ट्रैप कर रहा है. sunlight को क्या कर रहा है? ट्रैप कर रहा है. So we can find out that the sunlight is getting trapped into it, and the way we can find that the sunlight is getting trapped into it, we can find out that this light energy then to be converted into chemical energy. It is to be converted into chemical energy, and as it will get converted into chemical energy, we can find out that the water molecules, they get split into hydrogen and oxygen over there. Now first stage, as we have seen, the absorption of light energy by the chlorophyll takes place. Second stage, where the conversion of this light energy into chemical energy takes place, and the water molecule splits into hydrogen and oxygen. The water molecule is getting splitted into hydrogen and oxygen. The second step is there. In third stage, there is a reduction of carbon dioxide by hydrogen to form carbohydrate. So we can find out the reduction takes place. अभी reduction क्या होता है? Reduction is nothing but addition of hydrogen. It is nothing but addition of hydrogen or a removal of oxygen. If here we can find out 6 CO2 is there, this O2 will get split up, and we can find out 6 carbon molecules are there. So here the third step is there, reduction of carbon dioxide by hydrogen to form carbohydrates. So here in this way we can find out the carbohydrates are formed with the release of water and the release of oxygen. So this is how the photosynthesis process takes place. And then these plants, as they are making the food in the form of carbohydrate, they store it in the form of starch. And the same food that is used for the different processes by the same plant, and we all other organisms, we also take the food from these plants.